My friends, it truly is a great time to be a gamer. We've earned this. We've all earned this. One of the biggest first world problems that a gamer can have, especially growing up, is missing out. I couldn't even try to begin to tell you all the things that I missed out on growing up. I was a GameCube and Xbox kid, so while I was loving playing games like Super Mario Sunshine and Halo, I was also missing out on things like most of the Metal Gears and the countless amount of PC games like Team Fortress 2 or even Farmville for that matter. However, no matter what console you played on, you were more than likely always missing out on games that came out before your time. I don't think I would have fallen in love with the Sonic series the same way if it wasn't for games like Sonic Mega Collection or Sonic Gems Collection, which included a big chunk of games from the past that I otherwise had no way of playing. You can't really ask your parents for a game console that came out 10 years earlier in the early 2000s, especially if they only knew every gaming system as a Nintendo. But kids nowadays, and even adults, don't have to look very far if they're playing on a modern console, which most people are, because that's what Fortnite is played on. For a big group of gamers that are also fans of Star Wars, you can enjoy plenty of the gaming gems of the past thanks to Aspyr. Now, Aspyr fascinates me. Rather than being a game developer that creates new titles, their focus is on bringing older ones back into the spotlight for modern consoles and younger players. It's weird because it's like they actually know which games to bring back to the forefront. On Switch, they ported over both Knights of the Old Republic games, which are both some of the best games ever made. Not even specifically Star Wars games, mind you. They even re-released Republic Commando, which people are still clamoring for a sequel to this very day. And the absolute banger of a racing game, Star Wars Episode 1, Racer. No, for real, this game is awesome. They probably could have came back with an updated title, but whatever. There are even more great Star Wars titles that they have reintroduced to younger gamers, but now they've really outdone themselves. Star Wars Battlefront, both 1 and 2, are often heralded as the best Star Wars games ever, even rivaling Knights of the Old Republic. On March 14th, 2024, Aspyr did it again by releasing the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, a collection of Battlefront 1 and 2 that initially came out in 2004 and 2005 respectively. This not only gives new players the opportunity to experience a revered classic for the first time, but it also gives players of the originals a chance to relive all of their great memories that they had all those years ago. So let's get into it. This is Aspyr's Star Wars Battlefront. Well, if you couldn't already tell, I wrote that intro before I played the game. But one thing does still stand about what I said. This is Aspyr's Star Wars Battlefront. I really couldn't have imagined that they would drop the ball this hard. I don't even think Yoda could have seen this coming. Alright, let me just begin with day one. My friends and I were so excited to play this game. We waited up until the midnight release, hopped on Battlefront 2, and then proceeded to have the most disappointing night since we did the transit Easter egg. Yeah, it was that bad. The main reason we all got the game was so we could play together. We all grew up playing on PlayStation and Xbox with local multiplayer, but not online. So being able to play an iconic game from our childhoods together online was the driving force behind our purchase. But we were met with nothing but a slap to the face. The game has dedicated servers that only sometimes appear in the menus, and the ones that are available are always full. This is ironic because the main issue that my friends and I were having is just being able to play any online game. There's a host feature which doesn't let you invite your friends, and searching for a quick match goes absolutely nowhere. I actually was able to get into an online game, but I was the only one in the lobby playing against the AI. So what's the point? Not to mention that the way the game is set up now, the official servers are host-based, meaning that if whoever the host of the server is leaves, it ends the game for everybody. Also, just by sitting in the menus and looking for these matches, my game crashed within the first 20 minutes of playing. If this was the reason why you bought the Battlefront Classic Collection, I really feel for you. If this was the reason why you want to buy the game, I would say 100% wait until this gets fixed, if it ever does. Which I'm sure it will, but right now, just don't do it. Honestly, it's not like there are other options to play these masterpieces. The PC versions are still available for cheap and with mods, and there are even versions on Xbox that you can already play. There they are, right there. I have them, they're there! They're just ports of the original, but they still hold up. Really, the only thing that everyone wanted were the old games as they were, just with multiplayer. Not to mention, for what little they added, does it really justify the 57GB size of this game?
What?
The original Battlefront was 3 on Xbox and 4 for Battlefront 2. Aspyr, are you telling me that Kit Fisto and Asajj Ventress are an extra 50 gigs? You know what's sad? Is that other than this huge issue with online, the majority of what made these games great is still there. When these games came out in the mid 2000s, they were a complete package. Each had their own campaigns, a huge map variety to choose from, and had addictive and immersive gameplay. These were the standards for years, and really still are when you look at what a core game needs to have to be great. Really the only thing that is new is that Aspyr restored some content and added it, which is fantastic. I joked earlier about Kit Fisto and Asajj Ventress, but really there are great features that spice the game up a little bit. I mean, all it does is add replayability, which is a great thing.
Oh, hey guys, post-edit Visby here. If things couldn't get any worse, it seems that Aspyr actually used a mod that was created by a member of the BF2 community for Kit Fisto and Asajj instead of restoring the content themselves. Technically they didn't steal it because when a mod is created for a game, it's legally owned by the creators of the game itself. However, they're essentially taking credit for someone else's work and failed to at least give them credit or even a mention in the Classic Collection. So yeah, awesome. Alright, let's get back to it.
The community has had just short of 2 decades to run these games into the ground for their worth. The original Battlefronts are like a Toyota. They're great and they'll pretty much last forever. But this updated version is a huge letdown. You know it's bad when you and your buddies can't play together, so you all just agree to play EA's Battlefront 2. Highly underrated in its current state, by the way, one of the best Star Wars games ever, don't at me. Totally being honest here, I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that really the online is the game's biggest issue right now. I mean, there are a couple of other ones too, mainly the big nerf that the Battlefront 1 loading screen got. Holy crap, that is worse than the online actually, never mind. Hopefully Aspyr really fixes this soon. Like I said earlier, they have a great track record, and it doesn't take away from the previous games that they've re-released, but I think that because of their reputation and the game's reputation itself, people expected more, and rightfully so. In short, don't buy it until they fix this trash compactor that is the online, and if you really want to play it, seek out the older versions on Steam and Xbox. Sorry for the shorter video, I really wanted to make this a love letter to one of my favorite games, but now I've just been filled with disappointment and I'm not really motivated to keep playing. But what do you guys think? Is it still worth the $35? No, wait, never mind. Even typing that out, it sounded ridiculous, so of course it's not. Anyways, let me know in the comments below what everyone thinks. Alright, take care everybody. Watch those wrist rockets.